Hey guys, today we're going to deep dive into one of the smallest yet most curious culture shock, the size of the Korean towel. Check this out. This is the standard Korean towel we use right after a shower. In your country, you probably call this a hand towel. Surprisingly, we dry our entire body and hair only with this one towel. Even big man or woman with long thick hair still finds that one towel is enough. In fact, some Koreans like older generations are actually surprised to see a large bath towel foreigners use. So where does this difference come from? There's a crucial cultural difference here. We wash the towel that has touched our body right away. We absolutely never use the same towel twice. Of course, we might reuse towels for our face or hands a few more times before washing, but if it used to dry our body and hair, it must go straight into the laundry. We're actually shocked to see a large bath towel being hung up to dry and used several times. Quite a difference, right? I think foreigners often use towels not just for drying, but also for covering up their bodies. In Korea, a towel is used only for drying. We put on clothes right after we dry off. We don't need to worry about drying off completely. Once the majority of the water is wiped off, our skin dries quickly if we wait just a moment. That's why we don't feel the need to cover up with a heavy, large towel. We simply get dressed and dry our hair. So why did this small standard towel size so universal in Korea? In fact, Korea is a country that rapidly developed from poverty after a major war. It took time to reach this level of prosperity. Until the 1970s, not every house had a washing machine. That meant people had to do the laundry by hand. How could they manage to use a big bulky towel back then? And things like clothes dryers only become widely available since the 2000s. So we didn't need to change the size from small to large. We just kept using the size we were accustomed to and never felt uncomfortable with it. And one more interesting fact, this is rare now. When I was young, towels were not something we bought at the store. Towels were often given out as souvenirs at events like first birthdays, weddings, or store openings. So families gathered them and they had enough quantity to use. Because towels were not something we bought with the money, we didn't even think about their design or size. Ultimately, Koreans, having grown up using these small towels, they don't feel much inconvenience to use them and dry their entire body. If you found this difference interesting, like and subscribe. Of course, when you go to a hotel in Korea, you can get a large bath towel, so you don't need to worry. If you live in Korea or stay with Koreans, you probably talk about this towel mystery. These are phrases you might need. 수건 큰 거 없나요? 수건 큰 거 없나요? 수건 2장 주세요. 수건 2장 주세요.